It's Friday night, it's 8 p.m, and it's another edition of Noise from the Boys. Four of us here tonight. We've got a new guest with us tonight, but first of all, it's myself, Jockey. We've got with us Anthony.
Now then.
Christopher.
Alright.
And a guest appearance from Earl Jackson.
Alright. Right,
Liverpool, top of the league. 2 points clear, but we're... Man City have got 2 games in hands over us. It's a big game this weekend, but first of all, we're going to start off with the West Ham game. Tony, you went down there on the 11th hour, was it?
Yeah. Got a ticket the night before, actually, so it was all rushed. But I got the train down, yeah. And got there a bit more comfy than Liverpool did, actually. So I think they parked the coach a mile away from the ground. That's a walk.
Is that the truth, that?
Well, I don't know. Gerrard said they did, didn't he? And he was at his Dirty Tricks campaign, wasn't he, Big Sam? Big putting water the pitch for us, which is his right, like, you know. And had the eating on full whack and the changes, which I thought would have been a good thing, but apparently they don't like it. But
who does he think he is, Shankly?
I know, yeah. But we had the sense of eating on the floor, wasn't he? He'd turn it off, though, wouldn't he?
Didn't he say something? Wasn't he quoted as saying that he should have been considered for the Real Madrid job, or was that just someone wise?
That was a few years ago, one of his carry on, didn't he? Yeah, tool anyway, ain't he? But at first I thought we'd suffered a bit of jitters in the first half, but when I like looked at it when I got home, I'm going to give Liverpool credit for combating the way they fought, you know, the way they played, because all they were doing with them diagonal long balls, 70 yarders into the box, bump them. And give Sakho, he hasn't played, give him a bit of credit, because they combated it well, really. You know what I mean? Like, it was for that like terrible decision that the ref gave against us. We would have went in 1-0 up, and you know what I mean? That would have given them the headaches at half-time then. But you've got to give Brendan a bit of credit for addressing the problem, and because as soon as they went in, he come running out, didn't he, Lucas? And Lucas put his drills in.
You don't normally see that. No, yeah. The subs never come out and warm up, do they? No. I
mean, like, passing them as they went off the pitch, like, and he had no training top on, he had his full kit on, and he put him through the paces, and like, everyone was like, because you could have took your pick, you were thinking, you could have took your pick who went off there. I wasn't thinking Coutinho, I thought, like, I didn't think Henderson was too clever, but he was running. I thought Sterling wasn't having the best of games, but give Brendan his due. He sees things we don't see, and he's a Mac the tactician. And he pushed, you know, he got us settled down there, Lucas, really. Played in a different role, didn't he, at the side, at the forefront of this little, like, diamond he does. But we're gradually pushing them back, and you could see... No, it was the first time for a long while that I thought we might not win this. You know, like the draw. I was thinking of like a draw, but that's why like all the emotions come out when the penalty went in. But you've got to be happy with that. It's a win, and it was a hard place to go. And the way they played as good as they play under him now. If you know what I mean. It's not like it's good footy to watch, but
it was the type of game where we'd only have got a point in the days under Benitez and Julia, weren't it? We were forever. Going to places like that and games like that, winning scruffy and only getting the points. What about you, Chris?
Yeah, no, as I said last week, going into it, I dreaded that game. But
it was the biggest game of the season, wasn't it?
Yeah, it was. And like every game before that I've been, but I seem to be confident for next week, which just doesn't bode well, because I should be sticking with me at the other bit of mantra about going into it and not winning, but a bit confident. But no, the West Ham game, I don't know, it was a tight pitch, wasn't it? And the team was... It was where they played Sterling and Coutinho on the same team. It didn't suit Liverpool, and the big Andy up there and Sakho. I thought Sakho was brilliant, to be honest with you. I thought Sakho slotted in and he was superb. And didn't make a fault, and suppose his centre half, Skirtle was outstanding as well. But
did Sore frighten the life out of you?
Not half when he
with that header.
Oh my God! When he come on, I thought, what's he bringing him on for? And straight away, he just done that header. I just thought, what's he doing? But no, it was a master stroke off Rodgers, and it just bodes well, because you know I could see it at half time they had to make that change, and he did, and I thought he might have brought Alan on, but so he weren't that fit. So Lucas, and as Tony said, he slots it in differently there. So I think that's where he might slot in against Cities. And I don't know, as soon as the world's a good, that little scrappy game there, and they thought, well, as you said, they wouldn't have got that result with Benitez or anyone else. So brilliant result.
Pleased with the game yourself, Earl?
Yeah, it went down as well. I drove down a couple of lads where I live now in Bolton who all support Liverpool. We all go regular. 4 of us in the car. I like the last few games I've been really nervous. Even at the Tottenham game, I was saying to the lads before, even after 3-0 up, I was still biting my nails at the Tottenham game. 4-1 win and I settled down. But the West Ham game, it was just like they said, scrappy game. The first penalty, I couldn't even watch Gerrard when he put it in. I just sat down on the seat. Everyone else had stood up, and I just sat down and just waited for everyone's reaction. And I thought that was it. Like, as soon as we scored that first one, we'll go on and win it here. And as you said, the referee's decision for that goal. My view of it was that the keeper had dropped it at first, and it was only like corner of my eye. I saw the linesman flagging, and someone said, no, the Carroll's like pushed him or something. And it was like they seen it straight away on the big screen. And then at half time, they wouldn't even show you that. So it was obviously that it was a foul, and they wouldn't even show you. But second half, I think we were much better in the second half. And like I said, Lucas came on and changed the game.
Mm-hmm. Getting back to the incident with the ref, even though like it was I won't call it disgraceful, but it was a daft decision from the ref, and not very nice the way he spoke with his linesman and then not give it. But there was a situation there where all the Liverpool players were pointing at the screen going, look, but it would have left, where would that have left us, the game? That would have sort of immediately, without any planning, brought in not goal technology, but video technology. So really the ref was right not to turn round and judge it from there. So,
but it was weird because Premier League would hate all that, wouldn't they? The Premier League would have made a fuss about that because they don't like all that. But as they were pointing at it, it went off mid-challenge. If you never really got on the full challenge. Liverpool were pointing at it, and it was weird. They must have had, they got on the players pointing at it, and it went off mid-challenge. And if you noticed at half time, they went through the thing. They never showed their goal. It wasn't like half foul. It was their goal as well. They never showed it. It just went off, and every all our end were just booing. It's like, fair's fair, what's happened here, show what's happened, you know what I mean? But
from all the angles I seen it, the linesman's flag went straight up. He didn't hesitate, it went straight up.
We've spoke about it, it's the only business, only walk of life, only profession where you're not answerable to your mistakes. And what the hell did that linesman or that ref say to the linesman to make him change his mind? If he's there to help you, you haven't got the best view, he's got the perfect view. Like, when it happened at the time, it was blatant. Where I was looking at it was blatant, you know what I mean? I just thought he punched him first. I just thought he punched him in the head. I didn't see there was another foul. After that, he smashed his hand. But there was fellas by me shouting the odds at him, and it was a bit unfair, I thought, on him. Mingele shouting, he should take him, and he should take the ball. Why is he trying to catch that when he's punched them all in the... And I was saying, come on, look, that's a foul, you know what I mean? If he wouldn't have fouled him, he would have caught the ball and threw it out. He's saying he should have took the fella's head off. You take the fella's head off. Tommy the liar, punch his head, you punch his head in. That's
Tommy
what
you?
Tommy the liar.
Tommy the liar. But, what was I going to say there, Tommy the liar? That's a cracker. But, apparently Andy Carroll was going to punish Brendan Rodgers for bombing him, but the display from Carroll there, you can understand why the old reason why he went.
Yeah, there's display that you can understand why he got rid of him, because I mean, at Liverpool, I'd half think about keeping him. He is a second option, and he is one of them where you could pump the ball up to him if he was in a sticky situation. But credit to Rodgers again, get rid of him. He's just not worth a carry as the donkey he is. You know what I mean? We'd love him for scoring that goal against Everton at Wembley, and that's that. But what was he going to bring to the table to Liverpool this season? And Rodgers seen that from day one. What he wanted to implement with our team, he didn't want that in our team. He didn't want to be pumping balls up to a big donkey like him. But jumping in like that and just sparking Mignolet, and then the linesman seeing it. What's the point in a linesman being there for when the referee goes over and he says, well, I seen him hitting him in his face and he's knocked the ball out of his hands, and then the referee says, yeah, but I think he's dropped it. What's the point in him being there? Yeah, you hear Neville on the telly saying, what's he talking about, what's he talking... It was funny what Neville was saying, actually. He was saying, what are he talking about, what are he talking about? And then he just gave it. I automatically, when I seen the replay, thought, oh, he's right, he hasn't given it. And then he just gave it. It was bizarre, it was bizarre.
You were confident? You weren't going to...
It took too long for me. I think he was going to give it. If he did... Once the linesman spoke to him, and you could see him talking to him, and he's got his hand pushing the players away. Yeah. It was just going on for too long, and I thought he's going to give the goal here because he would have disallowed it straight away. And so as it went on, I thought, no, they're going to get it here.
He's come out the second half, hasn't he? And he's given us, would you consider as a half penalty?
Evened it up, yeah, not half. But I looked and I watched it, and I didn't think it. I thought you could see why it was given. We were on the train with his dad. With Flan's dad, and he come to and he went, yeah, kids just phoned me, said he'd been backed up that it was a penalty, so everyone was like, oh, well, we'll have that then if he said that.
Yeah, I'll tell you what, he's not a dad, he's not an ass, he's not a cheat, and he went in for that ball. All right, the goalie's got his hands onto it, but he's caught Flanagan as well. And if Flanagan was staying on his feet there, he's cutting that back in, obviously. So he's made contact with Flanagan and brought him down. To me, it was a penalty. All day long. He has evened it up, because he's not sure whether it was or it wasn't, but he's evened it up, definitely. But to me, it was a penalty, and I'm not just being biased. I just think he's caught him. He's got the ball, and he's caught Flanagan as well, but...
The ball didn't deviate, and that was the thing. The ball didn't deviate in any other way. It looked like the ball carried on through his hand. Yeah.
Referee's position, so on Match of the Day, I got back just in time to watch Match of the Day, and from the referee's position, looking behind, the ball doesn't deviate. The ball goes forward, so he gives a penalty, and it showed you in slow motion. His hand was over the ball. The ball just brushed his hand, and then his momentum brought Flanagan down. We were coming back in the car, and Ian Wright's on the phone, and the West Ham fans are phoning up, and they were saying the first one wasn't a penalty, the handball.
I'm just about coming to the first one.
And Ian Wright was shouting at them, and he was like, "What are you going on about? It was a blatant penalty." And Ian Wright was saying the second one was a penalty. He said he brought him down. Ian Wright was giving the West Ham fans loads. He was saying they were both penalties, and your goal shouldn't have stood. He was saying.
I've seen a boss picture, and you can see the keeper's sort of got his hand around Flanagan's ankle. You know, pictures tell a different story, but he's got his hands around his ankle.
Getting back to the first penalty, what else just mentioned there, and Ian Wright mentioned, I'm just about to say, does he play for them? Because we got the same against Man U. Is there another skill in his locker?
Yeah, I think he's a bit of a warm order when it comes to them, because he's had a few given, and he's had loads not given. That like it's like some refs will give them, some won't they? You know, it's that type of thing, but. He always does that little cut inside dead quick, doesn't he? And knows that like it's either going to hit the hip or the hands.
It's either going to hit the hands or he's past them.
But it's clever because the defenders are taught keep your hands by your side in the box. So he's like combating that in a way. Do you know what I mean? He's got like a little way of like getting an handball.
You see them in Europe to go into challenges like that with their hands behind the back. But I think I've heard Carragher talk about that. He said it just doesn't work. You just haven't got the body shape.
It's genius from him. He's knocking that. And he's knocking it into a position where his hand is, and I think it's a natural reaction for someone to like knock it. But you know, that's what he knows they're gonna. It's a sort of natural reaction. He plays 1-2s off players, and he
uses the legs and hits it against them and it goes past them. When the nutmegs don't come off, he's just so good at it. He just hits it against them.
He like plays 1-2s with him. He's a genius at it.
Yeah, he'd nutmeg a mermaid, but look, he looked like a naughty schoolboy, that centre half, when he done it, didn't he? You could tell he was guilt riddled, and he was just like, he didn't know where to put his hand. He was waving to fellas in the crowd.
On its slow motion on Match of the Day, his face, he just sort of looked to the sky as if to say, "You've got me."
Why did you? I like to say, like, why did you leave me 1-on-1 with him? Do you know what I mean? Of all players.
You said you got on for the Match of the Day. Did you stay to the end of the game, Earl?
Yeah. We were still in there. Probably 5-6 minutes later. I took a video on my phone because I work in a school in Bolton, and some of the kids are Liverpool fans, so I showed them just the old "We Are Liverpool" for about 5 minutes.
That's what I was going about to comment on it. It reminds me of the Fulham game in 2009 when we thought we were going to clinch it, and he stayed behind. What was it like on the train coming home? So I'm gutted I missed it.
Yeah, it was funny. wasn't funny for me, but it was funny. We had a laugh on the way home, like, but it got a bit boisterous. Like they emptied the buffet, you know, they've got a little ale thing there that got emptied. They ended up on that cheap red wine, and everyone was singing. All the songs were coming out, and it was a kangaroo court for Caveney as well.
This is Liverpool?
Yeah, I got me comeuppance, didn't I? Gary Alton and Matt and a few others.
He called you Dave, didn't he?
Yeah, he was calling me Dave, and then I went to Daveney. He was calling me Daveney.
He was really calling you Rodney.
It was good. We had a good crack on the way home. And it's a bus train, that, innit? You know, we were pulled in at 9:15, so, like, you know, you're at home, aren't you? You're settled. Sometimes you get home quicker than you get home from Anfield.
I was gutted because, as soon as I woke up at 7:30 Sunday morning, first thing you wake up in your eyes and it's West Ham today, and it's non-stop thinking. It's like you're schizophrenic and voices in your head. So I was sitting there, I was umming and ahhing, what shall I do? Shall I go down, meet him at the train station? What time do you leave? 11:20?
10 to 12 we got.
10 to 12, so there was plenty of time. So my running gear was there, my other clobber was there. I thought, shall I go? In the end, I know.
10 to 12 train?
Yeah,
what time did that get you in?
The hangover train. Get you in it. Yeah, 2 bells.
God, Macher and that from Kirby were on the half-8.
I know, well, they went down to watch Everton, I heard. They all went down for a bevy to watch Everton
on the telly.
At Euston, at Euston. But,
it's a good day out though, isn't it? You know, if you want to say out, go down early and make a day of it.
It's only a couple of stops then on that. Well, we got the taxi to Blackfriars, which is about 5 minutes away, and then just jumped on that district line. You're right there. It was only like 6-7 stops. You know what I mean?
Talking of Everton, am I the only one round the table who was cheering them on at the weekend?
We got down there for, it took us 4 hours in the car, parked up at East Ham Market, where we normally park every year. We went into that central, and the back room was full of Liverpool, had on a big screen. And I think there was loads in there cheering when Everton was scoring. I think everyone was made up that they're pushing for fourth.
It's in Everton's hands to finish fourth, so if they got to win every game, same as us, they do us a right favour.
Yeah, well, coming home, and I was telling him, I was talking on the train. We got the first train, we jumped over the barrier and got in. There was a big queue at that market there, Upton Park Station. So we get on him, like, it was pretty empty, actually, you know what I mean? We were sitting with this Cockney, he was about 50 odd with his daughter, she must have been about 17, 18. And it was like, what you think of the Allardyce and all that? I was telling him how we hated him and all that, like, massive past he had. And he went, he said, I'm not happy with him. Like he said, but you got to stick with your manager. You know, he's like an old school fella. He was spot on what he was saying. I've seen you won there and booed the other night. He went, it's the way we play. He said, you know what I mean? He said, we were brought up on like this footy, blah, blah. And he said, you know yourself, you're not liking footy. You vote with your feet or you vote with your voice, like, and all this case. I said, we don't do any of that. You know what I mean? I said, we're blind to the point of like, we'll stick behind someone till it's blah, blah. So he's having a laugh at him. I said, I seen them, the statue outside, you got by the Amber Lynn pub. I said, they got a statue there, Peters and Jeff Hurst and Bobby Moore. I said, it's turned the other way. They've turned their back on the ground since Allardyce has turned up. And he's having a laugh at them. And it's a funny little story. About 4 stations past Whitechapel's train station. And I said to him, there's Whitechapel there. I said, he's got away with murder for years. And he went, who's that, mate? And I went, Jack the Ripper. he was like devastated, but his daughter was laughing and he was like, you little bastard, you know what I mean? I don't find that funny. And his daughter was in tears.
So, a great weekend for Liverpool, weren't it? How did your teams get on? Remind me.
Chelsea won, didn't they? Chelsea
City scraped through that in the first half, really. Southampton battered them. Battered them and then got a offside, which was...
no, they were getting beat 1-0, weren't they? Yes. I text you, yeah.
No, they were winning 1-0. Winning 1-0, 1-1, and then the offside.
The Rodriguez injury shook them up a bit, didn't he? But they carried on playing, like, with...
They're not coming up 3, City though, but, but they're winning.
But again, we handled the, if you call it pressure, we handled the pressure of playing after everyone else again, and we've done it at Tottenham, we've done it at West Ham, but we're going to have to do it again next week on a Sunday. So it's like, the pressure, it doesn't bother us.
Chelsea play after us on Sunday.
Yes, yeah.
Okay, so we'll move on from West Ham, yeah? Is that it with West Ham? Just on my bullet points there, someone's mentioned season ticket renewals. Quick one on that.
Yeah, it's just...
Before you start, I know that beginning of last season, the last close season, there was loads renting the season tickets out, weren't they? They were easy to get hold of. I can't see it this close season, can you?
The thing, not gopping on about the West Ham, but the thing that's happening with success, and it's always, and it was a shame to see the regular faces outside with no tickets there on Sunday, and there was loads, you know what I mean, and you get banded about stupid prices, and like, so anyway, you're still paying stupid prices for these end of season games now because we're on a bit of a run, and you're getting your renewal form sent through for next year. So some season tickets are £850, you know what I mean, and like they've got this new day, the 28th Earl.
Yeah, mine 869. Mine is.
Where's that?
Kemlin. Lower, near
I haven't opened mine yet.
near the Annie Road, and it's like it's on the end of
Is there a price rises then?
Yeah, a little bit. I can't remember what it was.
It's only your seats though, isn't it?
I think in the top ones, I think it was eight. Yeah. I think it was £840 last year top price. But for some, I can't understand how mine's in the top price when it's on the edge of the area by the Annie Road, and that they class that as the top price. It's not a good view.
What goal's that?
6.
Yeah.
It's all right being like near the pitch and that, but you can't see the ball when it's down the far end.
I was there for the derby, and I couldn't see nothing. You can't see the game.
Are they doing the do you know the ticket scheme for the Champions League? Nothing like that come out?
The auto scheme,
Yeah, the auto scheme. They would usually have that on your renewal form, didn't you? That's how late they were. You signed up for that when you got your renewal form, but like I say, the 28th of May, the season's still more or less on, innit? It's a lot of money, and it's a forkhouse. I know they try and go through.
A lot of money, what, £850 for the season ticket? It's £5,000 for a pair for City on Sunday, isn't it?
Well, we're not.
If you read the Echo.
A lot of money, no matter what, £800's a lot of money, innit?
But it gives these Yanks the ammo to put ticket prices up when they're reading about tickets going for £5,000 a pair and even £1,000 a pair. You know what I mean? It's not good for the man on the street, is it? Right, we've been training, haven't we? So,
you have. I've been struck up, haven't I? I've been struck up.
Myself, Tony, and Chris are embarking on a walk next Friday, 96 miles from Leppings Lane to Anfield. Me and Chris have been training. Tony hasn't been doing much. But before we talk about ours, there's a lad here with us as well, Earl Jackson. The last few years he's ran there. And what are you up to this year, Earl?
Well, first couple of years, we started 2 years ago, 2012. We did 76 miles. We ran from the pitch at Hillsborough in front of the Leppings Lane to on the pitch at Anfield centre circle. We did 76 miles. The lad who organised it, Dominic, he's from Allerton, but he lives in Somerset now. He just sort of picked the most direct route. But after doing it the first year, we did it for the Justice Campaign and the Family Support Group, and we raised 15 grand split between the two of them. So afterwards we had a chat, and it was like, come up with the idea, we'll do it 96 miles. So last year was the first year we did 96 miles, again from the pitch at Hillsborough to Anfield. We finished it just in the Shankly Gates last year, because I think I can't remember, there was a game on last year or something. Anyway, we weren't allowed. Oh, sorry, no, it was the day before the memorial, so we couldn't finish on the pitch. So we finished like just through the Shankly Gates by the memorial. We did 96 miles. We did 32 miles a day. And this year we're doing it the same route, but we're going to actually reverse it this year. We're going to run from Anfield to Hillsborough. So we're going to start at about 10:30 on Sunday morning before the City game. Do 32 miles on the Monday, and then 32 miles on the 15th, getting to Hillsborough, hopefully for about 2 o'clock, because they're having a memorial service at Hillsborough this year. Apparently they have one every year outside, a small one, by the memorial stone that they have there, but they're having a bigger one this year. Yeah, they're having a bigger one, so the Sheffield Wednesday have invited us to the actual service. Now I don't know if it's in the ground or outside the ground, we're not 100% sure yet, but it was like I spoke to Dominic and said it'd be better if we changed the route and ran from Anfield this year.
Who's it in aid of, Earl, this year?
Sorry, we did it last year. We did it for Alder Hay and Sheffield Children's Hospital, so we're just doing it for them again. But it's like the logo of it's in memory of the 96.
And how can people donate to it?
Right, we've got a website. It's www.hillsborough-anfieldrun.com. .com, and you just go click on the donate page, and it's just you can either it's Virgin Money, so you can either use like cards or a PayPal. It's dead easy, just clicking on it, and you can leave us messages of support and that.
Have they been accepting? Have they been very accepting towards you, like Chef Wed and all that? Have they helped you out?
No, Sheffield Wednesday, brilliant. Yeah, they've said this year. They've said as soon as we get there, when we finish. We got to use the changing rooms, get changed in and everything. Even the first 2 years we've done it, they've been brilliant with the Sheffield Wednesday. The first year especially was a bit like emotional. Some of it, like the lads. I mean, some of them had never been there. Like one of the lads deemed the support team, he'd never been back, and he was caught up in it in '89. Me and him were like there in '89, but like I'd been back to a league game there. Really emotional the first year, and they just said to us, like, just take as much time as you want. You got the run of the ground basically, and they said that to us last year. They've been brilliant, Sheffield Wednesday.
Yeah. Okay, that's good. And just mention that who the lads are doing, and just mention that web address again.
Yeah, it's www.hillsborough-anfieldrun.com. Click on the donate page. There's 5 of us running. There's myself. There's Dominic Williams. He's the organiser. There's Wes Young. He's been. Him and Dominic and me have done all 3. There's Scott Park and Scott Williams. He did it last year. Ben Williams is our navigator. He did the ride for the 96. He rode in 2012. He rode up from Norwich all the way to Hillsborough and across to Anfield. He did that on his own, about 200 odd miles. And a guy called Mick Park, and we've got with us this year. He was one of the support team last year, and he's running it with us this year. So there's 5 runners. We did have another guy coming over from Mexico. I don't know if you've heard about him. The guy who did the Boston Marathon with the Justice for the 96 Liverpool shirts on. He was all over last year. He was all over the media pages, and he was supposed to be coming over, but something's happened and he can't get over. So he was going to be running it with us as well.
Well, good luck with that.
Yeah. Walking back with us as well.
And he walking back, and you're walking back with us as well.
Yeah.
Oh God! But I've walked out to Tony's here tonight on a training walk for 4 miles, and my legs are killing me.
It's horrible, but it's like a Jimmy Savile, isn't he? Do you know when he's involved? The way he's involved with all these charity things. I don't mean that horrible, like, but he's there and thereabouts, isn't he? So
it sort of puts ours into insignificance, doesn't? But it doesn't. Next week, by the way, Noyce and the boys will be live from Sheffield, because we're leaving from Leppins Lane at midnight next week. And where else they're talking about Chef Wed being very accommodating. I fancy. I want to try and get in the ground myself next week, because I've had my meeting this week with the IPCC, Operation Resolve, and she come to our house at 2:00 to interview me over 1989, and I thought I was going to be there 2 hours, 7 hours. My interview was 7 hours, and she had maps out, and she was showing me maps of the ground, and I was a bit confused. And she said I can't. She wouldn't let me. She wouldn't prompt me. When I was saying, well, is that there and is that there? She said, well, I can't tell you. And then at the end, she said, yeah, you were all right, but I need to go back into that ground and have a look around, because it brought a lot back.
Well, I went back there for the league game in 2000. 2000 it was. I think it was the first year back, or 1999, 2000 season, I think it was. I remember Titi Kamara playing, if I'm right. And that was the first time I went back. But then I was working up there in 2003, and just by chance, it was the 15th of April, I was working up there. So I decided to go and buy a ball of flowers and went to the grounds. And as Earl said, I went to the grounds, and they were dead accommodating. Like, I went to the reception, told them what was happening, I was working up there and so on. And they were more than happy to bring me in. And they were really helpful. Brought me into the grounds, took me to the Leppins Lane, and he brought the priest in and was chatting away to the priest and so on. And then he left me alone then to do, and firstly give me the run of the ground. So I just placed the ball onto the centre circle and sat in the Leppins Lane for a little half an hour. But that was this. You know, it was a bit daunting going back there, but that was the last time I went there. But they were accommodating, like.
You know when Liverpool have played there, where do the away fans sit?
In the Leppens Lane.
Above
Above,
it, yeah.
not-
Stand.
No, above. Above it, in the seats. No.
It's called the West Stand, isn't it?
No, the West Stand.
The North. There's still a Leppens Lane, but it's above. We were there in 1990. That the game, there was in the midweek game. It was in the November. No, it would have been. No, it was 89, and it was in the 89-90 season. It was the first game back, and I think we got beat 2-0. We
stayed out of it, didn't he?
We were there. We went, but they didn't have anything. It was like still the terracing at the time. There was seats above at the time, so Liverpool were in there. But we were in their main stand. We got tickets off a lad who knew Ian Rush, so we got us tickets in their main stand. And it was like that was the first game back there. We lost 2-0. I think that scored for them. That guy used to play Aston Daly and Atkinson or someone like that. But then, like as you said, in 99 we went back, and then we were in the seats above it. But we were right at the back, so you couldn't actually see.
Yeah, I was at that game myself.
You couldn't actually
That's the
see
only
the
time I've been
front.
back.
I've noticed other games there, and sometimes there's no one in there in the seats. No. They've got plastic seats there, and you see a game on the telly, and there's nobody in there. So I don't know whether anyone uses it at all. I know when Bolton played there a couple of last season, because I live in it up there in Bolton now, and a few of the lads that I know went. They said like there was the Bolton fans weren't in there; they were above the goal as well in the Leppens Lane above it. So I've never seen anyone in there.
Quite an airy place.
Yeah, well, like I say, we're going to go there next week. Like, I've been back a few times when that game you're on about, they went with Stewie and your kid, and we got freebies and sat in that big North stand, the big one on the side.
99.
We got beat 2-0.
89-90, it was November time, yeah.
And I went tonight to have a look when we went after the semi-final, when we got beat. Was it the semi-final, the quarters at Chelsea? Remember the 4-4 game? And it was the 15th of April the next day. We went, put flowers there. And I was showing Joey Jono the woman's house, you know, the woman who took us in and gave us something to eat and let us, like, if you had to use the phone and what have you. And I wouldn't mind going to see an house again. I was always wondering as well about the social worker we were given that day. To me, eternal shame. I don't know her name or nothing about it, you know what I mean? Just know she had a Mini. She was driving us around the hospitals. But I'd love to have met her on this day, you know what I mean? Like, we're going next week, something like that.
Right, well, we'll move on from Hillsborough. And as you say, there's a lot going on next week, and you'll get updates on Twitter and Facebook and what have you. Liverpool, top of the league. What about our under-18s? Just quickly, so.
Yeah, well, the under-18s won the other night against Chelsea, to beat Chelsea. And that took them top of the league. The under-21s were also top of the league till they had a mishap. I think they lost 2 quick games. They lost on the Saturday morning and the Tuesday, and they put them second. But they were top of the league. And as you know, the Liverpool ladies won the league last year, the Women's Premier League. And plus the first team at top. So everything's boding well with like what's going on from the academy through to Melwood. Everything's geared to success at the minute, it seems to be. And it's good to see, you know what I mean? Everyone's playing the same way. They've even got the ladies playing this attacking football, this expansive football, so it's all heading the same way.
It reminds you of when we were winning things in the 80s and 70s, and our central league team was I mean, our central league team would have finished in the top 4. Every season. Yeah,
Champions League team, aren't they? Yeah. But it's good to see like that everything's channeled into this like winning mentality, and like they must be chomping at the bit, because you've got like 15-year-old kids who are playing for the under-18s, and then you've got like, you know, like young Jordan Rossiter who's now being put into the first team, and he's still only 16, 17. So they're getting promoted, aren't they? And it's showing you that these kids, you know, you'll get a chance under Brendan. And just good seeing like all these teams that are doing well. The under-16s are a good little team as well, but I think they put the emphasis not on results, on playing these top teams. Do you know what I mean? These top European crack teams. So it's just nice to see. Like,
well, everything that's coming out the club at the moment's good, isn't it? You know, it's no fighting with American owners, and there's no fighting with players and arguing with managers and all that. And I've never seen a team so happy all together. And I was watching that kit launch before, and I seen Henderson giving Gerrard a bit of stick and all that, and I thought, I haven't really seen that before. You know, Gerrard seems like, You can't be giving Gerrard stick. And Henderson was giving him a bit of stick, and Sturridge seems to be a lively little character, and it changes. And he all seems to be a proper little team, a proper bonded team. And Torre's in there. I know he's a calamity, like, but he's won the league with City, he's won the league with Arsenal, so he might be a little lucky omen, mightn't he?
Yeah. I've got all my bullet points here. I don't know what order Tony, our producer, wants to do, but before we move on to the City game, does anyone watch the Carragher? The Carragher, did you watch it? Oh, it's brilliant. The Carragher documentary. It showed Philly in a bad light, didn't it?
Yeah, beating his lad up.
Yeah, the way the interviewer said to Jamie said, when you say your dad beat you up, you don't mean like he actually physically beat you up. And Jamie looked at him and goes, yeah.
Give me an idol, lad, at me, he said, didn't he? He said, hey, lad, he said, just what it means, an idol in Liverpool. But it was good because you never had subtitles for Philly, which I thought was like spot on, you know what I mean? So you could understand what he was saying on this.
I couldn't understand him.
No one else would have understood Philly at the time watching that. No chance. Yeah. But he was Philly come across well though. Yeah. He knows his football, and Carragher's, you can see, he's looked up to Philly all his career, and he's put him where he was, Philly, really, hasn't he?
Yeah, but that's what
he's only put him where he was with the likes of giving them leatherings.
Well, what you say, like,
to become... He said, it's done him no harm.
But to become these players because of the family background they're from, do you know what I mean? If you've got good family behind you, you're going to be half a decent player, and, you stay level-headed, and you can see, like, he's always stuck to his roots anyway, Carragher, you know what I mean? He's always, like, gone that way, and it was good. It's good because it's the first time I think I've ever seen anything like that about a Liverpool player. There's usually mank ones, isn't it? There's a Beckham one, there's a Roy Keane one, there's a Giggs one, there's a Scholes one, and it was the first time I've seen, because I haven't seen a Fowler one or a Gerrard one or nothing.
On the Carragher thing, I never saw it, but just on about being level-headed, on our visit to Alder A last year, when they showed us around after we did the run, the nurses were showing us around to all the kids and that, and she was saying about all the Liverpool players that they send the kids teams come in at least once a month, so they send certain players in. Obviously, the first team going in December. She said, but Carragher used to come in every couple of months on his own with his kids, and he used to send his kids into the Alder A children's wards, and he used to say to them, right, get in there and look at them kids and see how lucky you are yourselves. Yeah.
Well, I remember I was in the I had to take one of our kids to Alder A. I was always sad, I don't know, one of them must probably fell and banged his head or whatever they've done. And as I've gone in there's Carragher just coming out, So, as you said, he must be regular in there, seeing him coming out and actually let on,
That might have been before we had this top-notch medical team and we were on the cheap sending them to Alder A to get their hamstrings done.
Right then, so move on from Carragher. If you haven't seen that, I think it's getting repeated all the time on Sky.
Well, there was a show on after it as well, the greatest, Liverpool, the greatest, and that documentary was one of the best documentaries I've ever seen on Liverpool. The commentator, whoever he was like an old school commentator who spoke in this like droney, husky voice, and
for a while,
I'd tell you what, that was one of the best documentaries. It was just Liverpool. It was the match. It was the Carragher hour-long programme and then half an hour of this documentary. If you haven't seen it, you've got to watch it.
That's a series.
And Souness come out in a good light. I don't really like Souness for what he's done and he come out with the son and all that, but he come out in a good light, like as a Liverpool player and as a Liverpool captain and a leader. To me, what a player.
Yeah, but that's a series that on Sky that was out a few years ago, about 4 years ago. They had like football's greatest managers, and Paisley's in it and Shankly's in it. They had that on one night and then they've had football's greatest teams, and it's got like Real Madrid. It's got different eras of teams, and it's got all those like through the 70s. It's spot on, but it's good the little sound bites you get off them and all that about like in the change. The way he said we were mates. He said we were proper mates. We died for each other and all. Yeah, it was a lot, very similar.
Okay, we'll move on. Before we move on to the City game, we're going to do Wanker of the Week, so?
Wanker of the Week. Wanker of the Week. He's the Wanker of the Week.
Boom!
Well, there's three main big hitters at the minute, so we're going to have a little waffle about who we're going to decide on. But you can have Allardyce, whoa. You can have him fathead because his carry on, like he was put forward by one of the lads. Or you can have this Maria Miller with the expenses woman, the Tories. She's not the one of their firm, and she'd be like giving it to Tories now and again. Or does that Anthony Strap-on from the West Ham, the ref from West Ham? I don't know. He's Anthony Taylor, Strap-on out of Ant Summers' window. But
I'm going to throw something in the mix.
Go on.
Wanker of the week. How about Diego Forlan?
I don't know the full carry-on, I haven't heard. Yeah.
Diego Forlan has come out. I don't know what he's been smoking, but he plays for the team in Japan or something, and he's going on saying he's advised Suarez that he reckons Suarez has said, "Hey Diego, do you reckon I should stay at Liverpool this season?" And Diego said, "You should sign for Man United, you'll be better off at Man United."
Sure.
Is that right, Earl?
Yeah, I saw that this morning on someone put it on Facebook or Twitter, and I just saw the headline, and once I read that last bit saying you'd be better at Man United, I just started laughing. I said, he said he speaks to him every day or something like that. He said, he don't believe that.
I'm not having that. Sure, it wasn't Sally Gunnell.
No.
Is that legit?
He said, yeah, Suarez has gone up to him, or spoke to him and said, "Do you reckon I should stay at Liverpool this season?" And he's gone, "I know they love you there and all that swabs, but you're best going to United. You'll be better off at United." Imagine him going to United and playing with Evra. You know what I mean? What's Forlan smoking?
Is he on that mad tea that he drinks? That big mad tea with the big spoon in? That they're drinking the mad coffee? He must be on some of that, yeah.
Or some of that stuff what Pablo Escobar's been producing for the last 30 years or something. He must be on something if he thinks even Suarez would consider going to a mid-table British team.
A lot of wankerish about that, isn't he?
Yeah. You got anyone, Chris, before we go back to Anthony Taylor?
I don't know about Forlan. That's just been sprung on me. It's fucking hell. That's turn it round the mix that now, hasn't it? If it's true, I can't see.
The story's true.
Well, he might have said it, mightn't have, you know what I mean? He might have wanted to just think, well, he's saved Liverpool, he's pulled Liverpool out of mire and dragged us up to the top of the league and got us into Europe, so he might be thinking, get United back to where they once were, which is going to take a long while, in my eyes.
So who are we going to go for then? I've threw someone in the mix.
That has swayed it, because that's swayed it for me, because I didn't know that, and this Diego Forlan, I don't know, it's definitely it.
I was also going to throw Moyes in there. Moyes said it. I mean, poor Moyes. He's going to win. He's going to get wankered in the season, isn't he? But he said in his interview after the game in Munich, we come here and did what we were expected to do. You'll beat 3-1.
Saying that last week. After the 1-1, he went, that's it, now we go over there and finish the job, didn't he, after the game at Old Trafford?
I was telling Chris it was almost bad as Hodgson's before a game when he was managing Liverpool. I'm sure Hodgson said something there. I'll be happy if we come away from this game at Chelsea and we've only been beat 2-1.
Oh, no, yeah. It's the same in the derby, stupid shouting at the derby, but I'm made up, we'd all made up, they've gone anyway out of it because there's nothing left, the season's over for them now, but also for the way Lloydie likes to tell us about his his predictions and how correct he is. Just to get this they're going to win it prediction he keeps coming out with, that's gone now as well. Yeah. You know what I mean?
They're going to win the Champions League.
They're going to win the European Cup. But there's a lad in our work who's and he was saying no, we want them to win it and Everton finish fourth, and I was just saying, shut up, don't be so stupid.
You want them to win though now, because you want them in 5th or 6th, so they're playing Thursday night. Europa League, Europa League next season.
But they went on to Moyes saying, well, you're not in Europe next season and all that, and he was going, well, yeah, we're not in Europe, but there's still points to play for, and you don't know, they could still finish. They still got a chance of finishing fourth, but Moyes has just played it and said, no, I know we're out of Europe, and we'll build on, we'll crack on the season after. But that's not fighting talk.
You want them to win 1 or 2 as well to keep him in a job. Yeah. Do you know what I mean? You don't want this terrible run. And these are bleating that they've turned the corner or something, man. If you hear the players, I'd like to give it to that Phil Jones anyway, just that Mr. Potato Head of Toy Story. I can't stand his kipper.
I'll give it to the referee, mate.
Yeah, we're not giving it to Moisey. So who are we giving it to?
I'm giving it to Diego Forlan now. This is coming out off the press.
And he's my man, so I'm giving it to Diego Forlan. What about you, El?
Yeah, I go for Forlan, yeah, because I think the Allardyce one, I think he had to try and win the game, didn't he? So all the dirty tricks he had to pull, like, fair enough, give him his due, but it backfired, didn't it?
Yeah.
So I won't even ask yours, Chris, because 3 of us have gone for Forlan. So this week's wanker of the week is Diego.
Forlan, wanker, wanker, wanker of the week. Wanker, wanker, wanker of the week. He's the wanker of the week.
Boo!
And he's on the head when he scored 2 against us at Anfield.
Yeah, and he's got legendary status up the road for that.
They still sing that song, don't they? Yeah.
Well, it was funny. There was a good little write-up in the paper the other day, the Mirror. Was it yesterday? Yeah, it was yesterday or today. When did he play? Wednesday? Yeah, it was on Thursday. And he was saying, I think it was Oliver Holt, the chief sports writer, and he was saying, it's funny how roles have reversed so quickly. Like, Liverpool are top. And Man U was 7th when Liverpool was 7th this time last year. They were top and they were 7th. And he said it was funny how all the Man United supporters on the way to the ground, on the trains, on the U-Bahn and all this, to the Olympic Stadium, to the Alliance Arena, were singing reminiscent songs, do you know what I mean? About, like, who put the ball in the Munich net. Ole Gunnar Solskjaer and singing 20 times. He said they sounded like a Liverpool reminisce, like the way Liverpool used to sing about. I said it's funny how the Mancs are accepting it already, singing about past histories. And he said there's only this season where it's gone like tits up, really.
Getting back to Carragher, he was in the airport apparently as well, and they were all singing to Carragher, weren't they? About being a scouser and what have you. And he turned around to them and said, listen, no wonder Rooney just want to fucking play for you. Yeah.
Anyway, we'll move on from that. Well, we're coming up to the City game. Just before we come up to the City game, we touched on United in Europe, and we touched on cheering Everton on last weekend. Am I the only one who's happy that Chelsea won the other night?
No.
Like, concerning we're going to play them.
We're going to play them bang in the middle of them 2 semis.
Yeah, well, the draw.
You've got to think of yourself.
The draw was today. Who did he get?
Oh, I don't know. Who did they get?
I don't know. I haven't paid attention to it.
Oh, right. No, it's the draws. I can't remember. But anyway, we've got to play them in between that, and he's not going to put his best squad out for us, is he?
No, I don't know. It's in between. It's in between, and if so, this semi-final game. So someone's saying it's going to be a Saturday morning or something. Now, was it being put on a Saturday morning?
Our game's Sunday, isn't it?
No.
Someone says Saturday night.
No. Saturday night. It's getting changed with the semi-finals. They're putting it between the semi-finals.
Yeah, there won't be a Sunday game, will it? For them.
No, it was Sunday.
It is supposed to be Sunday, yeah.
Right,
Saturday. Okay. Didn't see him.
Because of their exploiting this Champions League.
Yeah.
Okay, well, we'll move on now to the City game, and before the City game, the 1906 crowds are out.
Yeah, well, this is something Colin's in touch with, and he knows these lads well. It's a boss little thing that they're doing. Do you want to?
No.
I guess I'll tell you more about it.
No, well, we were there before the Sunderland game, weren't we? And no, it was good. We got there early, as you said, and there weren't many people there, but it built up within 10-15 minutes, and each side of the pavements were just rammed with fans with the flags off the Kop. And it was great. It was like they had the Premiership at the front of the coach coming up. The coach was beeping it on. It was like an homecoming. It was brilliant, in fact. I was surprised, really. I didn't expect it to be as good as it was. So, they're starting off just after the King Harry this time, because of the memorial. And so they want the memorial kept a bit clear for the families and so whoever wants to pay respects. So the meeting just after the Harry. So I can imagine whoever was there on against the Sunderland game, I think there'd be double the amount that's be there this time. So I think it's going to be. I think they'll walk up as far as they can, and then they'll cut it off just before they get to the memorial. So I think on all accounts, it's going to be a blinder. And what they want to do is get into the grounds early, a bit like the Chelsea semi-final. a bit like the Chelsea semi-final. They want to get into the ground early, so...
But they want you there at a certain time, don't they?
Yeah, they will. 11:45. They want you there, isn't it? So.
Was that for the coach coming up?
Yeah, that's for the coach coming up. Yeah.
We're also live at Riley's in town on the day of the game as well, on Sunday. So get down to Riley's. We were live there last week for the West Ham game as well, pre-match, half-time and full-time. It's a regular thing there. And hopefully we're going to be live from the Solly as well after the game, hopefully celebrating a well-earned 3 points. But anyway, the City game, the biggest game in a generation, the biggest league game in the last 25 years, would you say?
Yeah, and I'll be missing it because I'll be starting that run at 10:15. I probably, in a way though, I'm glad really, because the last few games I've just been so nervous watching them. I think I'll probably be better off running and just hoping like that we can just do the business and get the 3 points. I know.
Good fill it for you.
Well, yeah, and one of the lads, Mark, he's driving the crew bus. He said to us, he's got that Sky Go on his phone. He said, so he'll be able to watch it. He said, do you want us to tell your updates? I said, no, just tell me at the end. I said, I don't want to know. I'll just get my head down and run. Yeah, no.
I can't see us getting beat.
Well, anyone who's been listening to this, every game I've been going into every game saying.
Do you reckon this is a biggest game so far?
It's the biggest league game that Liverpool have had since they last won the league. Well, whatever I
thought West Ham last week was.
No, it was. No, I mean this season, every game's been the biggest game for me. This season after Christmas, every game.
No, I'm only joking. This is the biggest.
No, this is
game
the biggest game.
isn't it?
My half fella said to me today, it's bigger than the European Cup final. I said it's not nowhere near the biggest the European Cup final, because that was the European Cup final. You still got 4 games to play after this. It doesn't matter, if we get beat or we win this game. It's still wide. It's still open. But it's the biggest game we've played in the league for 20 odd years, obviously.
I'm with your half fella there, because he's obviously talking about Istanbul there, and I think it's bigger than the Istanbul game because let me finish, because we went to Istanbul and we didn't think we were going to win. We didn't think we had a chance. I didn't think we were going to have a chance. We were just going there to enjoy a European Cup final, and everything. And looking back in retrospect, with everything what happened, it became huge. It became huge. But since then, the club, we could have went down. We could have went into liquidation. This game, right? If we win it, it sets us on a journey where a new dynasty beginning at Anfield, with a great new manager in the same mould as Shankly, dare I say it?
Of course, looking at in that perspective, as you're going into a European Cup final and everything else. But when did you ever think that we were going to ever win a European Cup again? But I did go into that European Cup final expecting to win after what we'd done in the prior games. We beat Juve, top of they were flying. We beat Chelsea, who were top of the league, flying 20 odd points clear of us at the time. We beat some great teams en route to that final. I was confident we were going to win that final, but back to Man City. I haven't been confident. West Ham, Tottenham, Arsenal. I just thought I can't see us winning these. Everton, but I feel confident for this one, and I just think, why?
It's a massive game.
It is a massive game.
I'm with Earl on this. This game on this game. No one wants it to be a last-minute winner in front of the cop for Liverpool, did he? Me, I'm with Earl, where he's saying he's still biting his nails after 3-0. I won't settle until Liverpool are winning 4-0 at half-time, mate.
They've got that open top bus with the Premier League. That's when you start settling.
I said to Earl before, I'll be happy when the season's over.
Yeah,
to be honest.
I saw Jeffo outside at West Ham on Sunday, and he straight away said to me, he said, I'm so nervous at this game, and I've never seen him like that. And I just get like everyone's singing, we're going to win the league, and I can't sing that. I can't sing it. There's so many singing it, and I'm clapping along, but I won't sing it. I'll clap, but I'm not singing it yet. No.
But there's got to be a confidence and arrogance around you, though, hasn't there?
There's got to be. I mean, like it's great because the football we're playing is brilliant. Yeah, yeah. And it's just, but I just don't want to tempt fate by starting to sing.
You'll be singing it Sunday night if it be City though, won't you?
Definitely, yeah.
I think though with our crowds and with this 1906 thing, everyone getting into the ground early, exactly like the way we did against Chelsea in the semi-finals, our crowd is a goal start, and I think that can lift us, you know, and that can carry us through this game really. I don't think the players are rising to it as well. They're not feeling nervous. You know, they're rising to this atmosphere and this, you know, what we're about now. And I think the crowd's going to be a main factor there on Sunday.
Well, there's no one getting on the backside.
No.
Bad passes and no one. I mean, you might get one or two, like, but I mean, young Sterling at the start of the season, if he misplaced the pass, there was loads getting on his back. But he's grown in confidence, that lad. He's having a cracking season.
Unbelievable.
Well,
Unbelievable.
we've got, like Brendan said, this is our pitch, this is our house. You come into our, you know what I mean? It's war in it, you know what I mean? No one's leaving without like going through the mill. He's saying we used to have the worst 90 minutes you've ever had, the hardest 90 minutes you've ever had when you come and play at our ground. So we've got the right fella to put them on the pitch in the right frame of mind. And I don't think this Pellegrini knows what he's in for, really. I think he's thinking it's just like, I'm going to Chelsea or I'm going to Tottenham. I don't think he's going to really understand. He might do when the crowd pull in and he see the carry-on outside the ground if they get to see it. But when he walks out and sees that calls, and he'll be on before the game because they're asking you to get in the game before it. So
just stop there, so because when you're saying about this 1906 and the flag waving, I think it's just as important that they should be there for the City coach.
Yeah, why not? Yeah, well, do they pull in at a similar time? I don't know. They
must do, yeah.
I don't know. Well, like I say, they're going to be milling around outside anyway with all the flags and what have you, and then they're looking to get in the ground a bit early. But I'm confident City, look, you cannot overlook the team that they are, do you know what I mean? But, like, I'm taking confidence from, like, what that Gary Neville said. He said, listen, Liverpool, and it was good what he said about it. He said, everyone's saying Liverpool, the pressure, can they handle the pressure? They've never been in a championship race. And he said, I'll tell you, he said, Man City have never been in a championship race. He said, let's have it right. They won it in the last day of the season with the last kick of the ball. He said, only that they won it on goal difference from us. He said, they never won this league by 20 points. He said, they weren't involved in a league. He said, we would have won that league. Let's have it right, but for like Aguero on the last minute. He said, so they weren't involved in no championship race. Well, really, they've got no history and no know-how of a championship race. He said, so they're in the same boat as Liverpool. What he was trying to make out. And I took like a bit of credit, you know, it took a bit of credit from that. And I was thinking, oh, he's got a good point there. But if we play our game, can you see Suarez getting this close? Gerrard, look at Gerrard now, he's effortless. It's like a Mercedes-Benz or something, isn't he? I can't see them on our grass doing anything other than, like, getting it. I'm going to do... Yeah, the game's made for it. But I hope not on the downside or the flip side of the coin is, if we do give these an eye and touch wood, if we do beat these or whatever, that's job done. I don't want that mentality getting into anyone, do you know what I mean? That type of thing, like, we've only got to go here now, and we've got... Because Chelsea, I hate Chelsea, and I'm still worried about them as well, because that Mourinho's a party pooper, and I know what he'll be... He hates Liverpool, so even if he can't win this league, he'll be trying his utmost to get... He'll park a bus, his favourite Chelsea, he'll park a bus at Anfield, him.
Yeah, so we're all worried then, aren't we?
I'm shit scared. I'm petrified.
I don't know, though, even if we do win, it's not over, because even if they, you know, we win all our games, obviously we've won it. But if they win the games in hands, they're only a point behind us, so we can drop a point. That, you know, and then if we do,
you've got Everton, though.
If we do lose it, it's still not like we're still not out of it. So
we're ticking all the boxes, aren't we? Every week we're ticking all the boxes of, like, have they got this yet? They've passed that test. Can they go there? They've passed that test. Like, and let's have it now. That game last week was one hard game, with all his dirty tricks and all everything that's involved in the game. The day after, there was a lot of pressure that Liverpool never got credit for, that they passed the test on that day.
The crowd are going to play a big part in this game as well.
Yeah, well, you know, we step up to the plate, don't we? Just when our ground's bouncing and you see the cameras are shaking, aren't they, when they're filming it? When we step up to the plate, go and ask Mourinho 2005 what we can get up to, yeah.
And we've all of us sitting around this table, been to most grounds around Europe and big grounds as well. And, you know, Everton have got good support, as they say, in big games under the floodlights and so on. You know, I've been to United on nights, but I've never seen a ground like Anfield as live for noise. Yeah. I haven't really. Yeah, I can't name another ground. I've been to Galatasaray, where it's supposed to be a big, mad, crazy, you know, support. But
Didn't impress us.
didn't impress me. No, I've never seen Anfield. It's that Chelsea semi-final. I've never seen nothing like that in my life.
For noise we are, but in defence, I believe Norwich now with these clappy things they've got, it's like, no, but our ground it's a cauldron, isn't it? And this is what, I'd hate to go to a new big ground and like, you know what I mean, lose that atmosphere of that thing.
Like Eastlands.
Yeah, look what's happened to them with the council ground, but I know they're regenerating, but get fellas in when they regenerate our ground to still keep
Eastlands, yeah.
the but to still keep try and design it to still keep it, build it up so we can keep that noise in the ground, you know what I mean? So don't make it vast and stands vast, that spread out, spread up. Like Rafa said that, didn't he, about like Boca Juniors ground. He said he wants the chocolate bowl, or he'd like to like design our ground on that, where you build up and you keep the noise inside the ground.
Right, well, we're coming to the end now, and getting back to the fan base thing, Anfield FM, we've got our biggest listening figures as well up to now. The biggest listening figures we've had in the past is 121,000 in a 30-day period. I looked at the figures today. We've got 135,000 listeners in the last 30 days, and it's rising. So people are tuning in from all around the world, from 118 countries. So that's good news as well. So we're going to come to the results. Anything from Twitter this week, so?
Yeah, I've got a few. I've got one, a little. I'd like to say a happy birthday to Runcorn. Runcorn's 50 years old yesterday.
Is it?
Yeah, 1964. So to McCartney and a few of the lads from Runcorn, Vinny, we ate mice. Right, we ate mice. Right, yeah, 50 years old. So
the Scouse part of Runcorn is 50 years.
Yeah, I think McCartney can remember when it first went there. But there's another thing as well. I'm going to talk about. I said I'd give them a mention. See, he's an avid listener as well. He's one of our match fame, Carl Ritberg. You know Carl, you know Ritty, don't you? So in the early hours of Friday morning, like the early hours of today, Carl Rittenberg and a few of his mates, a few of the lads out of Jaguar Land Rover are doing a wheelbarrow push, and they're going from the Etihad Stadium in Manchester to Anfield. Now it's to raise money and awareness for the Anthony Nolan Trust, and I think they've raised over £5,000 at the minute, he's saying. But the Anthony Nolan Trust, it's a bone marrow cancer research thing, you know what I mean? It's bone marrow cancer. He's given me...
Anthony Nolan was actually from Kirkdale, and it was in about 1974, Anthony Nolan, and I remember we all collected in school, and his brother was in our class. And he's from Kirkdale, Anthony Nolan, and it's a big charity now, isn't it? Yeah,
and it's a very big charity. He's given me the thing, yo. He's it's hashtag, all one word, barrow for bone marrow, is if you want to get involved in it and like try and, you know, donate some money towards it, go into that, through that. But I've got a few of the lads' names here now. There's Andy Coles, Robbie Ferns, Chris Thomas, and it was Robbie's lad Charlie Ferns who had a successful transplant thanks to Anthony Nolan. So that was like a big help towards him, and like they've got that coming up, so I thought I'd give them a mention. It's a great thing to do, and so that's for Ritty and the lads, and they do listen to the show, and good luck with what you're doing, lads, because it's a cracking thing.
Good luck. Yeah, sound. Great stuff. Also, all our listeners down in Perth in Australia, get down to Franklin's if it's open this weekend. It's usually open for the early kick-offs. And I was over there on holiday when we beat Arsenal 5-1. It's brilliant there, so a big shout out. And Kevin, hopefully he's going down to watch the game then. It's a lucky place for me watching the Reds. Right, the results. the results on Sunday. As you say, no one's really nervous about this game, but I'm going to go for Liverpool 3-1. I haven't got a clue who's going to score the first goal.
I'm going to go 2-1. And I don't know myself who scored the goal, but I'm going to go Gerrard because he seems to be scoring quite a lot. The first
When's the last time he scored from open play, Gerrard, though?
I don't know, long may it continue.
Have we had 16 pens this season?
We hold the record, don't we, yeah?
West Ham on Sunday,
Everton
said that, yeah. We've
It was an Everton fan who pointed it out to me.
Everton fans said we're going to win the league on penalties.
Yeah, one of the lads was saying we've had 16 at West Ham, and I didn't realise we'd had that many, but I mean, we're always in the area, so we're bound to get them, aren't we?
Your prediction for Sunday?
3-1, I reckon, yeah. I think City will score, but I think we'll be too strong, I think.
And yourself, Christopher?
It seems like that's the score a lot of the pundits going for. I'm sticking up with that myself. I was watching that Thursday Night Live last night. Paul Walsh and Gary Gillespie were on it. It was a good show. And they both said the same, 3-1. And I can see us, yeah. I feel confidence, and it shouldn't be. I should be going with me gut feeling that I can't see us winning.
So all us around the table are going for 3-1. Tony's not sure about 3-1 or 2-1. Yeah, 3-1 or 2-1. But
no, I said 2-1.
Okay, Tony said 2-1. The other is 3 of. But Sod's Law's going to say we're going to score it. It's going to be 0-0, and we're going to score in the 94th minute, and win 1-0, and all have an heart attack.
Yeah, no, I'm saying 2-1, but I'm bordering on a 7-0. Liverpool, you know, like a cheeky
7-1. I think City will score.
Yeah, give City one. Yeah, cheeky 7-1.
So there it is.
Scary.
Thanks for joining us tonight. Thanks for Earl turning up.
Can I just correct the mistake I made there about what the walk that the lads are doing, the wheelbarrow push? It's in the morning, early hours, Saturday morning. I think I said Friday. So good luck again to all the lads.
Good luck. Good luck.
So thanks for joining us. Next week we'll be coming live from Sheffield, we hope, and so join us for that. And the big game on Sunday. Also get down to Riley's to watch the game if you can, if you're not going to match. And up the Reds. Up the Reds.